Well, I think I'm going to go fire up the Oldsmobile, but before I do that, I figured I'd show you this. Anybody guess what that is? Well, it's a carburetor off that Bobcat. We might go see if we can get it running today. It's been sitting for about a year, and we got it popped off, but it wouldn't stay running. It was flooding out. And so I went ahead and I cleaned this up a little bit. I found when I was in here, this little bolt, there's a hole in it that the rod sits in, this part. So I took that out and I cleaned it and cleaned up the bowl a little bit, and I didn't go crazy. I just want it to run enough so we can get it on the trailer. But once we get that, hopefully this weekend maybe we'll haul it home with the trailer. That's model 310. We got the manual with it and everything. So got Kohler engine. Forget how many horsepower, but it's just a little dinky thing, but it should be fun to do. So hopefully you'll see that when we get it home, hopefully this weekend. And I've been around cleaning up my brother's engine on his Cadillac there, since he's not around. And you know what, if he never gets around to fixing his clutch on his Dart, I may have to go down there and light a fire up under his ass. But I guess the real reason that I'm making a video is to fire up the Blue Beast, so let's get to it. Alright, well, I had this fired up the other day, and it started up and ran fine. But I did notice something after I drove it for a while. There's a little smoke coming out from under the hood here, like some oil burning off or something. But I pulled off the air cleaner, and I don't want to set that on the battery. I'll set it over there. And I looked, and I've got basically some gas coming out of it. It's a little wet pretty much everywhere. And as you can see, it's kind of wet all over here by the carburetor. So I think I may be leaking a bit. So eventually that's going to have to get fixed. But I got to fix the choke anyway, because when you hit the gas all the way to the floor, this choke should basically flop back, but it doesn't. You have to reach under as you're pushing the throttle in. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Reach in and push up on this side, and then the choke closes. So that carburetor is going to have to get gone through one of these days, but it's kind of lower on the list because it still has that valve problem, and it's not running on all 8, at least not all the time. Yeah, I can see a little bit of oil down there in the valley. Yeah, leaking from somewhere, I bet. But I'll have to clean all that up when I do it one of these days. For now, he still runs pretty good, considering. Yeah, we'll pump it a couple of times. And it runs. Got the cold light on. Now you can hear that kind of that popping noise. That's a combination of an exhaust leak and that valve is running a bit rough on, I believe, cylinder number 7. I can't quite remember. It's on this head anyway, in the back. But I've got an exhaust leak right there. I can actually feel it, and it's getting worse. There's a stud broke off in the back. Should be one way in the back there. There should be a stud, but that's broke off. And what that's done is it's allowed the manifold to sort of warp and come back and come off of that, and lets it leak. So that'll be something I gotta fix when I get the head off when I do that valve. But not bad still. All things considered, it still runs and moves and drives. So yeah, little things, the brakes, the power brake booster doesn't work, it leaks. So to stop, you really got to get on it. Another thing I got to fix. working on it and fixing it. But right now I got a few other projects, like my brother's 2 cars, his old ones, and trying to save up some money to buy that land way over there. So this kind of gets set on the back burner along with everything else. But I'll keep it running. It'll work. And there is the Oldsmobile 98 fired up again.